Hi there, Leonard Parker here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching from and whenever you're watching. In this video, I'm going to go over how you really can use Google My Business photos to really set a great impression for your restoration company or business and really differentiate yourself from competitors. Now, if you're not familiar with Google My Business, if we go to the Google Maps, it's going to be this listing for your business. And if you want to learn more about that, I include a link uh, to our training where we go more into detail about Google My Business profiles. Now, for this video, I'm really going to be focused on the photo section here and how you can really set yourself apart when someone's in here in the maps or they're searching from Google organic, how you can really set yourself apart with your photos. Now, this is a little cheat sheet that we typically give to our clients, and it pretty much tells you everything you need to know when looking at adding photos and taking photos for your Google My Business listing. And these photos, of course, for this video, I'm going to focus on Google My Business, but you can reuse these photos on your Facebook business page or really any other social media profiles that you use to bring in new leads for your business. Now, the first row here, exterior. And if you don't have an office, this really doesn't apply. I wouldn't put photos of your home. But if you do operate out of an office, I would definitely put photos of the front of the office, the entrance. If you have your logo hanging somewhere, get an image of that. And really, even if customers never come in to your actual business location, this will help position you as a legitimate restoration company, is that you have an actual office. And if you don't, that's fine. You'll just skip to the next step here. Number two, product photos. And this only applies maybe you rent out products or you sell products to do-it-yourselfers. So let's say someone wants to do their own restoration job. They just don't have access to the equipment. Maybe this is a different service that you offer. Make sure that you put together really good images of your different products, and this would show people exactly how the product looks if they're considering on using your service, your rental service, or another companies in your area. And also, you may want to add video on actually using whatever equipment that is. That would provide some more helpful information for that person who is looking to rent. Number three, before and after pictures. So this is really important for construction jobs. So let's say the mitigation has already been completed. And even for mitigation, if you can show where the situation was at its worst, and then your team came in and did your magic, and now it looks so much better, that's great and provides relief for prospective customers who are looking through photos and they are trying to figure out, okay, can these guys actually get the job done? Well, if there are people with your uniform and hat on in the photos who are actually, showing the before and after, this does provide some credibility that you can get the job done. And I haven't seen this much with restoration companies, but these type of photos work very good on Instagram or Pinterest. When you're looking at SEO, Pinterest, Instagram, some of these other websites, their authority is so much higher than your website because they have so many users and they get so much traffic. And let's say it's not an emergency service, but maybe something where someone has some time to do their research. In these cases, putting your pictures on different profiles can definitely provide more opportunities for your brand, for your business to be found. That's just an expert tip here. So I'll stay on Google My Business, but that's just another way to repurpose and reuse your photos. Photos at work. So take photos of your team members actually getting the job done. So, even if it's just one day you go out with your camera or you hire a professional photographer, but have them in there, using their photos, or I'm sorry, using the equipment, actually performing the service that's to be done. And if your restoration company provides different types of services, have at least a few photos for each of those services. And again, with most of these, you could probably also take some video, as that would add a different element to your Google My Business profile. And just be aware that there are certain file size limits with videos. So just be mindful of those when taking videos and doing any editing. And I'm going to move my picture out the way so you can see the last one here. And team photos. And these are, your typical, everyone's lined up in front of the office or in front of the trucks. And that's a great way to show how big your team is. There's power in numbers. If you have a large team, well, that shows that even if a contractor, one of your team members is on a job, they get sick, or if there's a family emergency, there's someone waiting that can fill in. And I wouldn't limit it to that. If you have team outings, maybe you guys go bowling every once in a while, or have go out for drinks. Take photos of that. Customers like teams that are human. So adding some of that human element to your photos is a great way to kind of build that camaraderie before your prospective customer even calls you. Now, to end this video, I'm going to go over a few examples. So I did a search for damage restoration in Houston. That's my hometown. And you'll see here, I picked two Google My Business profiles just to show examples of what to do and what not to do. So the first is 911 Restoration of Houston. So they are a franchise. And if we click here, more photos. So we start off, they pretty much have their truck in the majority of these photos. And I'm not sure, I can't quite tell if these are stock images, but they have a guy that's in their truck and it has the vehicle wrap on the truck. So it really, it takes care of that part. Then, you have these images where it looks like someone was actually on the job and they actually show the equipment in action. Again, more trucks. Another picture looks like you can see some damage here in the background, but you can see, this is their equipment. And it's even cool because their equipment matches the color of their branding. So it's all aligned. You see here, you have multiple trucks, multiple equipment. So this looks like this may be at their office, their warehouse, but you can see all their equipment laid out there. So you can definitely tell this is a large operation. Next picture here, actually some guys, like we said, some guys actually providing a service. And if you look closely, they have their company shirts on. I think maybe these are just two different colors, but they have their company shirts on. And then this is a picture of their warehouse. So it looks like they sell different. I'm not sure if they're actually providing a service or if this is where they sell equipment, but it looks like they're actually providing a service there. Again, more pictures of the work being done. So I'm going to guess that this is a commercial project because you have these different cabinets. So showing different types of projects that your team performs is also great. Again, you have someone here in a protective suit. So it looks like this was the same picture that we saw before. So that's really good, really good. Showing different types of projects and different types of work. So I'm not sure if this is a stock image. It looks kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, shows someone with a mask on. I'm not sure if this is their employee, but I'm going to assume it is since they've done such a great job on their other photos. Again, one of their team members doing some work here. Pretty sure this is a residential project. I see the tiles here on a cabinet. So you get the point here. They doing a good job of showing their team members in the photos with their team shirts on. Now, I thought this one was pretty powerful. I'm going to assume this was from Hurricane Harvey a few years ago. And if you're a Houston resident and you're living here, or even if you're from Houston, this is pretty powerful because anyone who lived through it can kind of remember what that was like. And it shows them they're probably out there, getting some work done or rescuing folks, who knows, but they have their company hat right here in the logo. So that's a powerful. So you can think of something like that for your local area. It could definitely add that emotional effect, when someone's kind of just looking through your photos. So a lot more of the same. So they've done a really good job, and that's why I wanted to share them as a good example of what you should do with your images. Now, I would say the only thing that I didn't see among their photos was that big team photo where everyone's lined up. So you just kind of see the size of their operation. But overall, they've done a really good job with their photos. And if you notice, they're actually doing pretty well with their map ranking. So for damage restoration Houston, which gets about 200 searches per month, they're actually number one here. And if they're doing other things like what they're doing with their images, then they deserve the beater. And then you even notice Dry More Water Damage Houston, they have a better review rating and they have more reviews. But this is a common question I get from business owners. That review rating and the number of reviews, that is a factor for your map pack ranking, but it's not the only factor. So you have to kind of look at all of the pieces of the puzzle when really trying to optimize your visibility here. Now, for the bad example, this is going to be a lot shorter. This is another water damage restoration company here in Houston. It looks like they've just used a ton of stock images for their photos. Maybe some of these are actual photos from their jobs, but it's really hard to tell. They have this picture of the plant, which I'm not quite sure how that relates to water damage, but there's no context there. And you can just easily compare this one to,